Hey guys, this is Dr. Matt. This is a video that I put together. I was honing one day, honing a Fili, and I just set up the camera and this is what I got. You know, this is only the end part of it. There was an entire series from the beginning, from fixing the wobble in the razor through the mid grits level. But honestly, that part was kind of boring. But this part turned out pretty cool, I thought. It was just kind of really mellow, kind of zen-like, I like to say. So kick back, enjoy, let me know what you think. We'll see you soon. Haha, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off the Fili with a Japanese natural stone, but I'm going to do something a little different. First off, the stones here, these nagura stones, the whole series of them, I have those and I use those. But I'm not going to today, because everyone does that. What I have is this particular stone. This is a Hideriyama Tomei. This is where I'm going to start. This is a very cool stone. In fact, this is such a cool stone that I've made this sequence just for this stone. This stone is a soft stone, and it's not really the best razor stone. So what I do is I use it as an intermediate stone, and then I move on to the finished stone. So we'll start here. And by the way, the slurry that's on there, I've had this stone for, well, I've had a stone for a while, but that slurry's been on there for a year. What I do, I just leave the slurry on there. I put the stone, when I'm done with it, I just put it up on the shelf, and when I bring it down, I kind of hydrate that slurry, take my Tomo Nagura here, build a little bit more slurry. That's it. I just keep it going. It's just a very cool stone. Tons of real estate. I don't know, it's like 4 inches wide by at least 10 inches. Has a very neat feel to it. Slurry's getting thicker. I can feel it. I just kind of lighten my pressure as we go. That's enough. My next stone, the finished stone, what I'm going to use is this Ozuku Asagi, which is a very hard stone. If you remember on my other Fili video, this is the stone that I used. It gave me such a great edge. But what I'm doing, instead of using the other, the nagura stones, like I said, this is something that I've made up. But I take the Tomei stone from the Hideriyama, and I use it to make a slurry here, which is going to kind of be a middle step, and then I'll take the Tomei on the Ozuku here. But I'll just make a slurry here. Which will finish that. Ooh, this is the Ozuku with the Hideriyama slurry. Can you hear that? I'm actually feeling a little bit of stiction on there. I'm feeling it starting to stick on the stone already. This is going to be incredible when it gets down to the Tomei and we start to thin that slurry out. What I like to do when I'm doing this is I'll take it, I don't know if you can see, I'm tilting the stone this way because when you move it across, it kind of snow plows the slurry up to the top of the stone, so I keep it tilted down so it runs down, so it just doesn't run off the stone. Nice. Okie doke. I'm going to go take and rinse this whole thing off. Tomei nagura for the Ozuku. This is hard. There we go. I don't like to press too hard. I don't want to make scratches in there. But that's a nice slurry there. That should do it. Now we're talking. Wow. All right. Ooh. Oh my. That feels nice, nice, nice and smooth. This slurry is pretty awesome. So if you've watched my other honing videos before, yes, I flip the razor backwards. I flip it this way. You're not supposed to, well, you're not supposed to do it this way because you could potentially hit the edge. You'll only do that once if you do it though. Maybe twice. After that you won't do it anymore. I like to do it this way because I like to keep my finger here. Not to press there, just to stabilize. It just feels better. I mean, you're supposed to do this way and you flip it on the spine like that. That just feels a little bit like I'm trying to do it with my left hand. So I just do it this way. That's okay. Let's start thinning this down. Ooh. That's getting sticky. Ah. Ooh, really starting to stick. Right now I'm just going pretty much barely any pressure, just to keep the blade in contact there. The only time I find myself putting a little more pressure on is when it starts to stick. You have to push it forward. This slurry is nearly clear water, but not exactly. Still a little bit of cloudy to it. I'll probably do this one more time. I only need to do it, a dozen or so passes at each level. Whew. Skating along there. Again, one last time. One last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to take and strop it again. I'm going to go 20 or 30 on the fire hose linen. And if you can hear that and you are counting, yes, it was 25. Back on the stone till it sticks. See, right now, that sticking sensation disappeared. Again, it usually takes about another dozen to bring it back. Yep, there it is. A little bit more on the stone. Yep. Okay. So we're done. I would do a hanging hair test or some other type of test, but I'm just going to do a shave test. That's the ultimate test. Let's get a quick picture of it. Hope you enjoyed that. Stick around. I think there's going to be more to the video.